Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the moon and all 12 signs. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So, firstly, how do we interpret the moon in the birth chart? Well, you always want to look at this from the D1 Rashi position. So, most of you are familiar with your natal chart placement. And just a quick reminder that I'm using Vedic astrology. So it's very important that you have the correct placements. There's a calculator down below in the descriptions that you have your sidereal placements. You can also look at the moon from the D9 position as well. This also becomes extremely important, and the D60 always will have the final say. Along with this, the moon itself becomes a chart, so it can be very helpful to see different planetary placements from the moon's position sometimes also. Particularly if you don't have your correct time of birth, the moon chart might become very helpful for you. It's also important to understand aspects and conjunctions to the moon will definitely change the results, especially because the moon is a very changeable planet where it definitely is going to adapt to different influences in the chart. So this becomes extremely important. Another aspect of this that you want to see is the moon waxing or waning in the chart? Typically, if the moon is waxing, then it's going to be a much stronger moon where it's going to give positive results. If the moon is waning, then it's definitely going to increase sensitivity, but it can also create problems due to those sensitivities. But either way, moon can give great intuition and insight. So what is the moon in the chart? The moon represents the mind. It is all of our thoughts, feelings, desires, needs. It is how we associate with our environment, with society around us. Everything that we are connected to is seen through the moon's position. And the first connection being with the mother. So, moon definitely shows what our relationship with our mother looks like. Was that nourishing? Did we receive the type of nourishment that we wanted early on in our childhood? Can be seen from the moon's placement in the chart. Moon represents everything that is nourishing to us, from our food to everything in our environment that we rely upon, that we need for support. It's also how we support others. Moon definitely shows emotion, sensitivity, receptiveness, this ability to be able to care for others, to protect others, to give a sense of security. The moon is also connected with our past life experience. So it's not just how we were programmed through our family and our early childhood experience, but in general, how our minds, how our behavioral patterns and feelings and reactions have been programmed through past life experience also. So this is very important. So let's talk about what happens in each of the signs then, starting off with Aries. So if you have your moon sign in Aries, this is going to be a very powerful and dynamic position of the moon. This definitely makes you a very willful and determined person. You are full of energy and determination, and you always want to be in action, always want to be accomplishing something in the world. You hate to just sit still and do nothing. And definitely because the moon represents the mind, this can give you a very quick mind where you can make decisions very quickly. You can come to conclusions very quickly. Everything happens very quickly for you. You want to just jump in and take action. Of course, if the moon is badly damaged in the chart, then this impulsive streak can actually get you into some difficulties. Sometimes this could even show conflict in relationship with the mother as well, because Aries is definitely a very assertive sign. It is very much this warlike sign. But the relationship with the mother could also be a positive thing, depending upon how the moon is placed. The mother herself could be someone who's very determined, very straightforward as well. This placement also shows that you're a very independent person. You're not afraid to do daring things on your own, to explore uncharted territory. You want to really push forward in life, and you can come up with all sorts of innovative and unique ideas. You become like a pioneer, a trendsetter, really coming up with new ways and new approaches, leading others behind you sometimes with this placement. It could also give you a competitive streak sometimes, where you could get involved in all sorts of competitions and conflicts, especially if the moon is in a difficult position. You could attract a lot of conflict. But because Aries is this very powerful, dynamic sign, you're not put off by this conflict. You actually use this as fuel for you to achieve success in life. So this becomes very promising for you. Sometimes there can be some issues related to anger with this placement. And when you keep all of that passion and intensity inside, it can cause some major health concerns, especially for Aries because it rules over the head. There may be issues related to headaches, migraines, head injuries. Anxiety can be seen sometimes with this placement also. Definitely because Mars rules the blood, there could be some blood related issues sometimes. So sometimes there's definitely a need to get blood checkups to make sure that everything is okay in this area. Another thing with this placement is because you're so independent, you could do very well in self-employment. And especially because you're always coming up with innovative ideas, you're always pushing forward into new territory, you can become a very dynamic and enterprising person in the world of business for sure. You're very focused, very determined, sometimes a little bit dominant in your approach towards life because you want to get everything done. You want to push forward with task and responsibility. So sometimes other people could perceive this as a little bit dominating sometimes. This is especially true, again, if there's heavy afflictions, you could get into all sorts of conflicts and difficulties with others. This placement also could show that you could attract a partner who is very calm and peaceful because Libra is the opposite sign to Aries. So you can attract someone with Libra-like qualities. They may not necessarily have prominent placements in Libra, but there's someone who can balance you out, someone who can bring a sense of calmness and stability into your life. Sometimes it could also even show that you could work with your partner as well in business, or you just make really great partners where you work really well together because Libra is that original sign of partnership. So that can definitely be shown also. If your moon is in Taurus, this is a very auspicious placement because not only is moon in its office sign in Taurus, but it is also exalted here where it's going to give very auspicious results for sure. Moon in Taurus is a very calm and down to earth placement. You're someone who's always very grounded in your approach towards life. You take a practical approach and you like for everything to be peaceful and calm. Sometimes you also like to be in a country environment or to be out in nature, to be in a very peaceful and calm space. You hate conflict with this placement. You don't like to get into unnecessary battles and drama with this placement. You always like everything to be very peaceful and balanced. Definitely you're focused towards security because Taurus is that original second house of the chart, which is all about our sense of security and nourishment. So you are attracted to the luxurious things of life. You want to make sure that you have enough resources and that you have the things that make you feel comfortable. This is not necessarily always focused towards yourself, though, because you also can be a very family oriented person where you want security for your loved ones as well. This sometimes could make you a bit of a homebody or someone who just likes to stick to the same people, familiar surroundings with this placement. Because again, you like to feel secure. So you want things to be predictable in your life. So sometimes you have difficulties with change and uncomfortable situations coming into your life. This could make you a little bit stubborn sometimes, even where you are very stubborn and resistant to changes in your life. But you have this very calm and friendly way of connecting with other people where you make others feel really calm and secure within themselves. You bring this energy that is very relaxed with this placement. So definitely you can have a lot of friends and connections with this placement. You like to connect with people and to bring that sense of comfort and connection. This can make you very choosy about your friends, though, because again, you want to have that sense of security for sure. This definitely makes you a very cautious person also. You're not a person who likes to take a lot of risk in life. You like to make sure that everything is grounded, that you've taken your time to think everything out thoroughly, and that you have a plan, that you have that stability. You're a very caring person also. Again, you like to nurture people. You like to make people feel safe. So you have huge empathy and kindness for other people, for sure. Sometimes this could show that you like to cook for people, to gather people together, to bring in a sense of entertainment, humor with this placement. Again, you like to make other people really feel comfortable. This could also make you have a great love for animals sometimes as well. You feel a sense of calmness when you're connected with animals, nature, music, art, beauty. To have that sense of comfort and security becomes important for you. You could even have a skill in the arts sometimes if you have moon in Taurus. And definitely this will give you a lot of wealth and security in your life. You want to check to see what is the condition though, because there could be some issues where your security is a little bit shaky if this is not the strongest position for the moon. One of the things that you want to watch out for health wise with this placement is overindulgence. Taurus loves food, so sometimes you could go overboard with this placement and it could create a lot of health issues and disturbances. So, definitely, you want to make sure that everything that you do is in moderation, that you take a balanced approach. This will be very helpful for you. Sometimes there also could even be issues related to the vocal cords, to the thyroid, because this is the area that is ruled by Taurus. So that can be seen sometimes, but mainly the issues have to do with weight gain and overindulgence. You can attract a partner who's very secretive, mysterious, intense, because Scorpio is the exact opposite of Taurus. So you attract someone like this who has these scorpionic qualities. They could be a very loyal and supportive partner, but they may also be a little bit intense and dominating at times. And sometimes you can put up with too much in your relationships, could be a little too compromising, where you definitely have to think of your own happiness sometimes. This could also mean that you do something that is related to helping and caring for people in your career as well. You could do something that's related to the government, that's related to some kind of group or organization with this placement, something where you are trying to make the world a better place. Sometimes, though, because Aquarius is the 10th sign that is from Taurus, there could be some chaotic situations related to career. Again, you want to see what is the moon like in the chart, because Aquarius is a very unpredictable sign. It is co-ruled by Rahu, which is one of those shadow bodies. So there can be some karmic issues in relationship to your career, but usually it works out fine. And definitely it can show that you're very creative in your career. You're always coming up with creative inventions and ideas to push forward into brand new territory. So this can make you very successful. If you have your moon sign in Gemini, then this could bring up some issues in relationship with siblings sometimes. This definitely, though, means that there is a karmic connection with siblings that can be seen. And this definitely means that you're a very clever and intellectual person. You have huge analytical skills. You are able to really gather a lot of information and details with this placement. And you're really good with coming up with decisions and conclusions to situations very quickly. You have a very witty and quick moving mind with this placement. Sometimes, if there's negative afflictions, though, this quickness could turn into impulsivity where you could actually make the wrong decisions. So sometimes you do need to take your time when making decisions, but you do very well with this. This definitely means that you get bored easily, though, so you can multitask. You could do so many different things at once with this placement. And again, if there's negative afflictions, then this can go overboard where you can spread yourself thin and not actually accomplish anything. But you like to have this sense of variety and change in your life. And especially on a mental level, you're looking for the challenge, for the stimulation, for the variety. So definitely you want something that's going to keep you engaged intellectually for this. You also like to apply your skills. You like to develop different skills with this placement, always seeking to learn something new that you can put to practical use. Sometimes there can be issues related to communication if there are heavy afflictions in the chart. So this could come up as some kind of speech disorder, dyslexia could be seen. But generally, if this is placed well, then it gives you excellent communication skills. And definitely, you love to connect to people from all different walks of life. So you become a very social person, engaged with all different people, and you love to stay connected to these people. So you're very good at keeping up with your social contacts. This could give you an interest even in travel as well. This mercurial sign is definitely a very restless and changeable energy that wants to move around. So you could even explore foreign lands, foreign people, foreign cultures with this placement, even foreign language, because Gemini is about communication. This could also show that your mother may have had some issues related to communication or to movement in some way. There could have been some illness there that could have been seen. But the mother also could have been very close with you, where there was a lot of communication. Mother was constantly teaching you, guiding you with this placement. You want to be careful sometimes of health issues related to the nervous system, especially. Gemini rules over the nervous system, so there can be all sorts of issues in this area. Skin disorders even are seen through rulership of Mercury, so that can cause some issues for you. And also, definitely with this placement, avoiding smoking can be helpful because Gemini rules over the lungs, so there can be some issues there also. Because Sagittarius is the exact opposite of Gemini, you could attract someone from a different cultural background, someone from a foreign land, or you could attract a partner while traveling with this placement. There's something different and unique about your partner. This also can show that through your career, you like to help people, because Pisces is definitely a very compassionate sign in your 10th house. So you like to be of help to people in the world. You like to get involved with charity, with anything at all where you can make a difference within society. The problem is that Pisces is a sign of confusion and a very restless sign. So you could go through multiple jobs before actually finding the right path in life, or you may just enjoy changing jobs, doing something different, having some kind of variety in this area. If the moon is in Cancer, this is a very auspicious placement, similar to moon in Taurus, because moon feels at home in the sign of Cancer. So it's going to do pretty well with this position. But again, you want to see how is the moon placed here? What other planets are involved by aspect or conjunction can make a huge difference. But generally, this gives a good relationship with the mother. You can feel very close and supported in your relationship with your mother. There's a deep emotional bond that is seen here. The problem is when there are afflictions to this, there can be also issues with separation from the mother or some kind of trauma in the early experience of life. This placement also makes you a very caring and nurturing person also. You want to make other people feel comfortable and secure at all times. This placement, though, could stress you out a little bit because you're constantly trying to make other people feel comfortable, which could affect you at an emotional level where you actually feel drained. And so there can be some changes in your mood sometimes. You can become a little bit temperamental if you feel that you have given so much to other people that you have nothing left to give of yourself. So sometimes there's that need for self-care that definitely can be seen with this placement. You're very deeply attached to your family, to your loved ones, sometimes even to your home country. You could be a very patriotic person and could even do something in relationship with politics sometimes with this placement. But you like for things to be stable and secure. You don't like to get too much out of your comfort zone with this placement. And especially at an emotional level, you want to feel that sense of security. You're very sensitive to other people in the way that you interact and connect with others. You're very aware of how other people feel, and you're intuitively picking up on other people's thoughts and feelings. So this can make you a very sensitive person, where again, sometimes you need that space for self-care. Sometimes you could also come across as a little bit shy or introverted sometimes, because Cancers don't like to easily reveal their emotions and vulnerabilities to others. Remember that the symbol is a crab, where you have that hard shell to protect yourself. So sometimes you could actually hide your emotions and cut yourself off in this way from other people. But ultimately, when you do feel comfortable with people, you show them more of your personality. And people are surprised to see that you're this very entertaining and lively person once you do decide to open up. Definitely, you like to bring people together, to cook for people, to entertain people sometimes with this placement can be seen. You're very service oriented. You always want to take care of people to make sure that they have what they need. This can also make you a bit of a homebody as well, and you could be very focused towards the home environment and wanting to make that a place where you feel very comfortable and cozy for sure. You definitely want to watch out for issues that are related to water retention, weight gain with this, because this is a very watery placement for sure. So it increases this in the body. And this could also show issues in relationship with the stomach as well. There may be some kind of digestive issues, food issues that's also connected with the sign of Cancer. Sometimes, because Capricorn is the opposite sign to Cancer, you could attract a partner who is older than you or who has something that is very mature, traditional about them. They could be very status oriented with this placement. Sometimes there can be issues in relationships, though, because your spouse could come across as someone who's a little bit cold and detached, a little bit more on the serious side. So you may feel that you're not getting as much emotion that you want out of the relationship, but ultimately your partner makes you feel very secure and grounded. Sometimes this placement could get you into medical field, into teaching, counseling, again, into cooking, sometimes can be seen. Ultimately, anything where you can help other people, where you can be of service to others. And sometimes it could even get you into politics, into leadership positions, management can be seen also. If the moon is in Leo, then this is a very dynamic placement for sure. This makes you someone who is very much about the way that you present yourself to the public. You can like dressing up with this placement, looking very poised in your appearance. And you could be very much into performing arts, being on stage, being before an audience with this placement, even getting into politics sometimes. You like to have this performance, this presentation that you bring to the world. So you definitely could get into all sorts of forms of acting, entertainment with this placement can be seen. You have a huge respect for your mother as well with this placement, and your mother could have given you a sense of confidence and self-esteem as well, made you really step into your inner sense of confidence from a very early age. And definitely the mother would have taught you how to respect other people as well, which can give you great social grace. You know how to carry yourself in a social situation. Again, how to present yourself. And this makes you very likable for sure. This placement also can show that you like to have the best things in life, the things that are of quality, of value. Sometimes it can make you interested in antiques, into all sorts of luxurious things. You like to have this feel that you have the best quality things in life for sure. And this can extend into your home life as well, where you like to have everything look a certain way within the home. Sometimes this can show that you could be a little bit of an attention seeker, especially if this is negatively afflicted in the chart. But in general, you just like to be known for what you do. You like to show off your professional status to other people. This could make you a leader as well. You could be in some type of authoritative position. You could be the head of a company with this placement for sure. But ultimately, it makes you very optimistic, very confident, very sure of yourself. And in this way, you can inspire other people. You spread this light to others with this placement. You can be very daring as well, pushing forward into new territory, trying different things. You could be very successful in this way, very creative, thinking outside the box. This could also show that you could attract a partner who may be older than you, who may be very mature, but because it's Aquarius that is opposite to Leo, it could also show that your partner may have something very eccentric, very different. Could be a partner from a foreign land or a partner who is into aliens, UFOs, has something very different about them that stands out. And this could add to your public appearance as well, where you both shine together, you both stand out in the public. Sometimes there is difficulty with being vulnerable, though, because you're all about this showmanship, this presentation that you put out into the world. And sometimes you don't like to step out of that. So that could create some space within your relationship sometimes. At work, you become a very friendly, very easygoing, laid back person, which can make you very likable. You're very much team oriented. You care about other people. You want to bring this sense of nourishment and stability into your workplace. And definitely because Taurus is the sign of money, you seek to have wealth. You seek to have that stability in life. That's very important to you. So definitely you don't like to have a lot of change and instability within your work. You like to have something that's stable, long lasting, that's going to sustain you. If you have your moon in Virgo, this is a very interesting position. This definitely shows that you're someone who is very logical, very practical minded, but sometimes this means that you could be out of touch with your emotional side. So, this placement makes you want to approach everything in a practical way. You're always thinking in terms of common sense, what makes sense, what's reasonable. And because of this, you also like to help other people in practical ways as well. You can completely organize a person's life, do favors for other people. You always want to make the world a better place. So your mind is always focused towards the struggles of society and how you can fix it. This makes you a perfectionist. This makes you very detail oriented. You are able to see all of the small details that everyone misses. So this makes you a very skillful person as well. You're very hardworking, very practical. You like for things to be clean, to be organized, to be proper with this placement for sure. And you could get this from your mother as well, where your mother taught you to how to be polite, to be respectful to others, and mother also wanted things to be clean and organized as well. So this becomes very important for you. In fact, this placement could give you some mental disorders as well, OCD, anxiety, high stress levels, because you're always trying to keep everything organized and clean. You could become very self-critical sometimes with this placement for sure, where sometimes you have to learn to be a little less hard on yourself with this placement. But you're very hardworking, disciplined, dedicated. You want to be on time to have everything structured, to get your task completed. And this makes you a very valuable person in the workplace for sure. You could be skilled in areas involving communication because Gemini is the 10th house for Virgo. So you could be in anything involving writing, social media, anything that has to do with communication. Even in technical fields, working with digital technology, sometimes mathematics, science, research, you're a very intelligent person. You're very skillful in this way. You're always finding solutions to problems. When people come to you, you're able to understand how to fix the situation, how to bring things back into a state of purity. And so, definitely, you like to serve other people. You like to, again, make the world a better place. Now, because Virgo is the original sixth house of the chart, this can make you very focused towards health and healing as well. You could be very concerned with your diet, nutrition, exercise, medicine with this placement, and could even go into a medical field. You could work as a nurse, doctor, therapist with this placement as well. The problem with Moon and Virgo, though, is that sometimes you stress yourself out by worrying too much. You become so concerned with the details that this can create a lot of problems for you. But this placement, it also can show that you can attract a partner who is very spiritual, who is very much about the deeper meaning of life, seeking the deeper truth. So your partner may not be as practical and structured as you are. You play this role of bringing this practicality into your relationships. But also because your partner is so much into spirituality, meditation, and so forth, they can also make you feel calm and relaxed, which can help to decrease some of these high levels of stress and anxiety. So this becomes very auspicious for you. If the moon is in Libra, then you're a very materialistic person. You like to enjoy the comforts of life for sure. You're also a very social person. You know how to connect with other people. You know how to behave in social situations. You have very good negotiation skills with this placement and could be very skilled in the world of business as well. This definitely means that you like to be around people. The problem with this is that sometimes you don't always like to be alone. So there is a need to be around other people, which can be problematic sometimes for you. This placement definitely means that you're very relationship oriented, but sometimes your values are tested in relationships. And of course, you want to see what else is going on in the chart, because what this shows is that you always need to be ethical within your relationships for sure. This also shows that you're a very creative and talented person. You could be skilled in the arts, fashion, media, design, entertainment. You could be a very talented person with this. And because you know how to socialize, how to connect with people, you have a certain charm and charisma about you, which can make you a very popular person, very well liked by others. You're always thinking about how to be fair in situations, how to make sure that everyone gets what they need out of the transaction, out of the situation. So, this also means that you're a bit of a people pleaser, though. So, this can create some obstacles for you as well. Sometimes you become so drained by trying to please everyone, but you want this fairness, you want this sense of justice in all situations. Definitely with this placement, you don't like anything that is unbalanced. You don't like a lot of conflict or drama coming into your life, and you can become very sensitive to these situations. If you come into conflicts and difficulties in life, it really causes some difficulties for you. Sometimes, even to the point where you want to escape these situations to avoid all of this conflict, which also could make you appear introverted at times where you could shut yourself off in the world. This is especially true if there are heavy afflictions to the moon. Ultimately, though, you come across as someone who is very laid back and agreeable in situations, which makes other people like you. This definitely could make you a skilled negotiator. You could work in the legal field. Again, you could work in business with this placement. But again, you have to see the strength of the moon, because sometimes these situations that involve conflict can be tricky for you as well. Definitely, you're a very charitable person. You like to give to others, you like to make others feel happy and comfortable. The problem is that because you are so much about pleasing others, sometimes people don't really know what makes you happy in a situation, which can cause some disturbance also. Definitely, when it comes to health, you want to be careful, because Libra can become a very overindulgent sign, which can cause some issues with weight gain, overindulgence, even some issues related to kidneys, to all sorts of issues in the body that you want to watch out for. You definitely could attract a very powerful and dynamic partner, someone who's always active, someone who's always quick to jump into situations. And this could be beneficial for you, because Libra sometimes can be an indecisive sign, because it's trying to make everything balance. So, for this reason, your partner may be very supportive of you, coming up with quicker decisions in the relationship. Definitely, this could show working in a profession where you're advising other people, where you're being of help to other people, being of guidance to others for sure. So, again, you're a people person. You understand how to really make things fair for other people. Now, if the moon is in Scorpio, this is a very interesting placement. The moon is debilitated in Scorpio. So, definitely, this is going to come with some challenges. Moon in Scorpio sometimes can give an issue in relationship with the mother, but you have to see what is the condition of the moon, of course. With the moon here, sometimes there is a feeling of coldness or detachment with the mother. Mother also may be a very intense person as well, someone who has gone through many difficulties in life and has this survivor attitude, this intensity about her. So, this can also be seen as well. The mother may also be interested in occult, mysticism, astrology, other worldly subjects sometimes. But with this placement, ultimately, you become a very independent and self reliant person. And this can be very helpful for you, especially in terms of letting go of some of the trauma or difficulties connected to your childhood. The more that you rely upon yourself and seek out your own happiness, this can benefit you for sure. This placement definitely means that you're a courageous and daring person. You're a leader. You're not afraid to push forward into new territory, to really push forward in life in this dynamic way. And this can be very helpful to you. Also, this can take you through some dramatic transformations in life. You can literally go from the bottom to the top with this placement. You can transform your life all the way from nothing to greatness with this placement. And it can also go the reverse situation as well, depending upon how this moon is placed. This can also make you someone who is a little bit obsessive sometimes, where you want to get to the depths of everything. You're looking for the deeper meaning in life and you want to solve problems. So, this can make you very skilled at really spotting out details that other people miss, getting to the root problem behind everything. Sometimes you could come across as someone who's a little bit secretive with this placement, though. You don't share everything with other people. And sometimes you have difficulties with opening up to other people as well. And this, again, can come from this insecurity related to your childhood situation. So you really are very careful and cautious about your relationships and connections. But when you do open up to people, you become this very passionate and devoted person. You're intensely loyal in your connections. Sometimes, though, if you feel betrayed or taken advantage of by others, you can just shut yourself off and become very secretive and isolated. This definitely means that you want to be careful with some issues in regards to infections, to sexual diseases with this placement sometimes can be issues that can be seen. This placement also means that you can attract a spouse who is very supportive of you, who is very down to earth and practical and gives you this sense of strong security in the relationship. So this can be very beneficial for you. Definitely this shows a spouse who's very reliable, who's very loyal to you, which is what you're seeking definitely in relationships. As far as your career goes, you become a very determined person. You definitely want to succeed in life. And actually, through your career, it could take you into a powerful position, into a leadership position. It could also get you into performing arts sometimes. You could be a very creative and talented person. One of the issues, though, is that you could have some difficulties with a boss or authority figure in the workplace. You want to be independent, so you ultimately become like your own boss through your career, definitely. If the moon is in Sagittarius, then this means that you're always looking for deeper knowledge, higher truth in life. So this can start you off on a quest to seek out the deep spiritual knowledge, philosophical knowledge, to seek out some kind of teacher, mentor in your life. For sure. You have a very restless attitude, though. You like to travel, to explore with this placement. You never really like to sit still. So this could take you on all sorts of adventures, exploring all different places. And you're always seeking that deep truth, that deep wisdom in life. The mother also could play a role of a teacher or mentor in your life as well. It could be a very wise and knowledgeable person for sure. The mother can be very intuitive, and this can transfer over to you where you have this higher understanding, this broader picture in life. This definitely makes you a very optimistic person. You are always looking to the bright side, and definitely you're fiercely independent. You like to go your own way, to do your own thing in life. This definitely means, though, that you have a lot of faith and optimism that came through your connection with your mother, which serves you very well in life. This is very auspicious. Definitely, people perceive you as a very friendly person, as someone who's very kind, who's very honest, who's very fair minded in your interactions. And this whole quest of seeking out deeper meaning can start even from a young age where you're just constantly asking questions, constantly seeking the deeper meaning of life. What does it all mean? With this placement comes into your mind at all times. This could also make you a huge advocate for social justice as well. Fighting for the rights of others, even fighting for the rights of animals can be seen sometimes. And this could definitely take you into the legal field as far as your profession for some of you as well, because you're so concerned with these rights, with these higher principles that you become a great advocate for. You want to fight for the underprivileged. You're a very generous and charitable person for sure. You also like to give out your knowledge and wisdom to other people. The problem is, if there are heavy afflictions in the chart, then you can come across as a little bit too preachy, too forceful in terms of sharing these beliefs with other people, where it rubs people the wrong way. So that could definitely be shown. But ultimately, you want to teach, you want to share. Definitely, you want to work on humbling yourself, because sometimes you can come across as very egocentric when it comes to your beliefs, when it comes to your knowledge. You can feel that you know everything and that you're not open to listening to other people. This could be problematic sometimes. Definitely, this shows that you want to be careful of getting into accidents because of your restless nature. You could just suddenly get into these situations where it can cause a lot of issues for you. So, being a little bit more cautious sometimes can help you for sure. This could show some issues in relationship to high stress levels as well, to issues with the muscles could be seen sometimes. And definitely because Gemini is the opposite sign to Sagittarius, you could attract a very intellectual partner. And this is something that you seek. You seek someone who you can have conversation with, someone who understands you. You want to express your philosophical ideas with your partner. So definitely you can attract someone who is like this for sure. Virgo is the 10th house from the position of Sagittarius. So you become very practical and down to work in your career environment. You could be very skillful, very clever in the workplace. You could even be skilled in technical areas dealing with technology, definitely with this placement for sure. One of the issues, though, is because Sagittarius is this optimistic, expansive sign that's seeing the bigger picture, is that you can be very expansive in your career, but you can make this work for you. You can take your skills and apply it to multiple areas. If the moon is in Capricorn, then this is a bit of a tricky position because Saturn is definitely an enemy to the moon. So the moon does not feel completely happy to be in the sign of Capricorn. What this shows is that sometimes you have an insecurity within yourself, and it may come from your early environment, from your connection with your mother sometimes. Mother usually is not so much of this emotional person in the relationship, but is more practical, down to earth, more serious. The mother wants to teach you about the responsibilities of life, to help you to mature and to be able to thrive within the world, definitely. So there could be a feeling of coldness in terms of the emotional connection sometimes. And this can create a feeling of insecurity in you all throughout your life, where you want to build that security. You want to have the things that you need as you get older. So you become very concerned about this. The problem is that this focus towards building security can make you a little bit pessimistic in your view of life. You could feel that at any moment the rug could be pulled from underneath your feet. So you're always in this state of worry where you're trying to keep everything secure. But definitely, you're a very responsible, hardworking person. You could have very strong traditional values sometimes with this placement as well. And you're very charitable. You like to give to help other people, but also you're very cautious about your money because you're focused towards security. So you like to save for the future. You're always planning ahead with Moon and Capricorn. You're very simplistic also. You can do with less with this placement for sure. You don't like to show off or to go overboard with anything, but you also do like to get respect from others for the work that you do. So you do want to be recognized, and you could be into moving up in status in whatever profession you're in. You take your work very seriously. You could even work really hard towards your education just to get a certain status in life. You want to be successful. You want to thrive in the world. This becomes very important for you. Sometimes, health wise, there can be issues related to the joints because Capricorn rules the knees. There could also be some skin related issues sometimes with the rulership of Saturn, and anxiety, stress can be seen sometimes with this placement. Definitely having people who can lift your spirits, who can make you feel happy and positive, can be very helpful for your health for sure. You could also attract a partner who's very motherly like, who's very emotional, nurturing, caring, and brings you this sense of security. Due to some of the struggles that you may have had in your relationship with your mother, your spouse almost becomes like this motherly figure for you, brings this sense of care into your life, which can be very beneficial for you. With Libra ruling over the 10th house from Capricorn, you can become very social within your work environment, though. You like to have this sense of partnership and togetherness in the workplace. And you could do well in business because that's what Libra is about. Even in the legal field, Libra is a sign that wants justice and fairness. So this can be seen as well. If Moon is in Aquarius, then your mother could be a very interesting person, could be very eccentric, very different, but very intellectual for sure. The mother could be concerned with the social life, with the larger group, the humanity at large, sometimes with this placement. But the mother is not necessarily this emotional, nourishing person always. So sometimes there is a feeling of detachment in the relationship. Sometimes you even could have a substitute mother as well. Someone else could be playing this role of this nurturing caretaker in your life. Also, your personality becomes something that's very eccentric. Your mindset is very different with this placement. And sometimes you can behave in completely contradictory ways, which can confuse other people at times. You're definitely a very mysterious person. People can't completely figure you out at times. This could show up in the sense that you're very friendly in this external way. You're very group oriented, geared towards the collective at large, but you don't always allow other people to get close and intimate with you. So at first, when people meet you, they feel this warm and friendly connection, but the closer they get, they can feel a sense of coldness and distance that you create in your relationships. You could be a very aloof and detached person. You are not always in tune with your feelings with this placement, but you have this certain charm about you. You're very mysterious, and people are drawn to this. There's something about you that stands out as very unique. So, definitely, you could have a lot of friends, a lot of associates with this placement, but especially in the close, intimate connections, you're very selective about who you allow in. But definitely, you could have a wide social network. This placement also could get you interested in science, innovation, technology, new age. You are always thinking in terms of the future, and you're a very innovative person. You think outside the box. You come up with all sorts of extraordinary ideas with this placement. This definitely can make you very talented in this way. Sometimes you also could even be creative with this placement, getting into the arts, into film with this placement as well. This also could show that you could get into history, into archaeology, because Saturn still rules this sign, which is the past. So, again, there's a contradiction here where you can be very much interested in the future or even the past with this placement as well. Definitely, you get bored easily. You want a lot of intellectual stimulation. So, you could change things up if things become too boring and routine in your life for sure. And this could surprise people, even where you can come out in a way that is very unpredictable to other people. At the same time, especially if this is heavily afflicted in the chart, you could have some issues where you could isolate yourself, where you could become very antisocial sometimes in your connections with other people. You can create a lot of distance and space. This also could show that you could attract a partner who stands out as well. So, definitely someone who's very unique, who is very talented, even someone who could have this fame about them as well, where they're well known. Definitely the partner will be focused on their public image, which will give you a lot of space and independence in the relationship. And Aquarius is definitely an independent sign. So, you'll enjoy this definitely coming from your partner. But also, this will give you a sense of security as well. With Moon in Aquarius, this definitely means that you are a very determined person in your workplace, because Scorpio has rulership over the 10th house. So you're very dynamic, purposeful in your career, but also you could become very secretive, and you need a lot of space and independence through your career as well, which could create some issues if you're working under an authoritative figure. As far as health goes, there can be issues with the nervous system, a lot of high stress, anxiety that can be seen with this placement, sometimes cardiovascular issues, but more so with this placement, you want to be careful about drugs, about alcohol, stimulants with this placement can create a lot of issues for you. If the moon is in Pisces, then the mother may have been aloof or detached in the relationship in some way. But at the same time, the mother may have taught you to be very empathetic and compassionate. And this is something that you carry with you all throughout your life. So you're a very caring person. You're very compassionate towards all people, even towards animals can be seen with this. You have huge empathy, a huge heart. And you are someone who likes to stick to what is moral, what is ethical. So, definitely, you are a kind person with this placement. You're also a truth seeker. You are on this journey to find spiritual truth and meaning in life. You definitely can have a strong intuition, but you need to focus to listen into your intuition. Sometimes there's a need to have some quiet, some meditation with this placement to connect in with your inner voice. Sometimes you want to be careful with addiction, with escapism, definitely with this, especially if this moon is afflicted. This can create some issues for you for sure, because Pisces is a sign that doesn't really want to be here in this physical world. It is more in tune with spirituality. So there can be a tendency to escape at times with this placement. Definitely your connection with spirituality and higher truth can help you through some of the difficulties in your life. And no matter how much you get into these problems, you always find a way out, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, which gives you great luck and fortune and higher guidance in your life that can help you to get through any difficult situation. You're a very optimistic person. You're always seeing the bigger picture in life for sure. And you have a very gentle disposition. You're very generous and very careful in the way that you treat other people around you. Sometimes, because you are so compassionate and open with other people, though, you can attract a lot of energies towards you. So you actually become like a psychic sponge. You absorb other people's emotions with this placement, which can become overwhelming. And in this case, again, you need some time to yourself with this placement. As far as health goes, there can be all sorts of issues in terms of weight gain, of water retention, sometimes even digestive issues can be seen, because Pisces is Jupiter ruled. So there can be an issue with overindulgence sometimes. And definitely because Pisces is a sensitive sign, you could also have some issues with nervousness, anxiety sometimes as well. Pisces also rules the feet, so there may be some issues with getting into foot injuries sometimes. As far as your career goes, Sagittarius rules the 10th house, so you want to make a difference in the world. You want to help other people. And definitely you can bring your beliefs and your knowledge into your career as well, because Sagittarius is that sign of teaching. So you like to teach other people. You like to spread your wisdom to others in the world. Pisces is also a very creative sign. So you may be getting into the arts, into all sorts of forms of creativity with this placement. You could also attract a very supportive partner who's very practical, who's very concerned with the practical details of life, which can be very helpful for you, because Pisces is a very daydreamy, imaginative sign. So sometimes you're in your own world and your partner can help to ground you in this way. So definitely you appreciate your partner with this placement. Also, Pisces is connected with foreign lands, so sometimes there can be some kind of connection with foreign places, especially in terms of career, because Sagittarius again rules that 10th house of the chart. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.